is a really common thing if you're struggling with either falling or staying asleep and it's, affecting your life. We tend to have these obsessive thoughts about sleep during the day that create anxiety, that create fear, doubt, worry, frustration, tension, tightness, fatigue, exhaustion in the body. So today I want to share with you some tools, some techniques, and give you some understanding for how you can meet this type of thinking in a way that's more resourceful. And so first and foremost, let me just say, again, this is very common. If you're not sleeping well, most likely you're probably thinking about, hey, is tonight going to be another one of those nights? Is tomorrow going to feel similar to today or feel worse? Am I going to feel worse than today? And so it's very, very common. And it's something that if we don't meet with understanding can create a lot of negative patterns and can create also behaviors that keep sleep from happening. So first and foremost, when addressing this specific topic, the thing that we need to bring to this is awareness. If we're not aware of the thinking that's creating the fear, doubt, and worry, the frustration, the overwhelm, the fatigue, the exhaustion, then it's going to be really hard to actually work with this type of thinking. So the first thing I always like to share with people is if you notice you're in a state of fear, doubt, worry, frustration, you have certain sensations in your body. Maybe your breathing changes. Maybe you feel tightness, tension, exhaustion, fatigue. Maybe your heart races a little bit. Maybe it's hard for you to get a full breath. It can be different for different people somatically, but you want to start to notice what is the feeling like that is connected to the thinking of, am I going to sleep tonight? Is tomorrow am I going to be tired? Understand what that kind of feeling is for you, and then understand and bring awareness to what is the specific thought or thoughts that then you're having, these repetitive thoughts that then create this obsessive thinking around sleep. For most people, at least for most of our clients at Sleep Science Academy, it sounds kind of something like this. Is tonight going to be another night where I struggle to fall asleep or stay asleep? And then that creates all of this fear, this doubt, this worry, this frustration, all different types of emotions that can linger for, in some cases, hours if you don't meet it with understanding. And what that creates is usually a self-fulfilling prophecy of sleep being more challenging and this sort of ongoing cycle of thinking about sleep, obsessing about sleep. And it's really important to bring understanding to this because it can create this pattern that then really can keep people stuck. So once you bring awareness to what are the sensations in the body, what are the thinking, the thoughts specifically for you, the next step is to really get present. And when I say get present, meaning when these thoughts are all future-based most of the time. Am I going to sleep tonight? Is tomorrow going to be, am I going to feel even more tired than I do today? Right? They're mostly future-based thinking. So we want to try to bring our presence to our body. One of the best ways you could do that is to actually connect to your breath or connect to your surroundings, meaning you can notice the color of your wall or the trees or whatever's around you. Bring your full attention to what is around you, or bring your full attention just to your breath. Now, what we don't want to do is we don't want to try to push the thought out. That's what most people tend to do because these thoughts are uncomfortable. They create fear, doubt, worry. They create tension, tightness, racing heart, anxiety. So we try to push them away. But what I'm suggesting that you do is that you just allow them to be there. You notice that they're there, and then you notice that they're gone. You notice maybe they're come back, and then you notice that they're gone. And at each time you're noticing, notice it's there, notice it's gone, bring yourself back to presence. Bring yourself back to presence. Another common thing that people fall into, a pattern, is they judge themselves. Oh, I know I shouldn't be thinking like this. This isn't helpful, right? See if you can meet that with compassion and understanding. Because that's going to shift how your body is able to work with the uncomfortable sensations versus pushing them away. You welcome them to be there and you meet them with more compassion. The next piece to this is you practice a shift. And a shift could be a shift in how you're thinking. So you could take the polar opposite. There's a lot of tools and techniques that we teach around this in Sleep Science Academy. One of the simplest ways is you can take the complete opposite, right? And the complete opposite might sound something like this. Well, if the thought is tonight going to be another night that I don't sleep? You could think, is tonight going to be the night that I don't even have to think about sleep and sleep just happens naturally? That could be just as true as the thought of, is tonight going to be a night where I don't sleep, right? So that's a polarity shift. You could just practice breathing, really getting into your body, because the thoughts that are happening in our mind, if we get into our body and we just feel what we're feeling, that could be a shift. There's all these different types of shift techniques and tools, but it's important to shift. A shift could be just letting it go. Comes in, goes out, let it go, right? And part of this practice is experimenting with different tools to see, hey, what works for you? Because what works for you might not necessarily work for someone else. And so it's important to have a whole toolbox to play with, to understand, hey, what is going to be the most resourceful way to bring understanding to this obsessive sleep thinking, to then, again, allow it to be there and allow it to go. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Do you have obsessive sleep thoughts? What are those obsessive sleep thoughts? How do you meet those thoughts? What's your experience when you have this type of thinking? Practice some of the tools that I shared in this video. Let me know in the comments below how they work for you. And if you're somebody that's struggling, if you feel broken, if you feel alone, if you feel like your sleep situation is unique, if you have these obsessive sleep thoughts, if sleep's been an issue for you for a long time and you've tried the medications and different types of programs out there, listen, at Sleep Science Academy, we'd love to support you. You'll quickly realize, even if you just go listen to some of these testimonials on my channel here, that you're not alone, you're not broken, and what you're experiencing isn't unique, and there is a clear, proven path to restoring your natural ability to sleep. So check us what we're doing out at sleepscienceacademy.com, and I'll see you in next week's training. Take care.